A woman's voice carries wisdom. It carries discernment. It carries healing. And sometimes it carries pain that has waited a long time to be released. La da 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 dum. Blessings. It's your girl, Yapah Judah, and this is Evolving with Yapah Judah. Welcome back to part 4 of our topic, A Woman's Voice, with my guest, Kendra, Knowledge, and Camille. Welcome back, ladies.
Hey
Well,
there.
so our subtopic for A Woman's Voice is speaking truth in love. And the question is, what has been the hardest truth you've had to speak out loud, either to yourself or to someone else? And let's see. Knowledge, would you like to go first?
I would not like to go first this go round.
Okay. Kendra, would you like to go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Um, I would say a hard truth for
Would you like
me
me
to
to
be able.
repeat? Okay.
No, I got it. The
Okay.
hard truth for me that I've had to speak out loud. There's many truths, of course, but I guess I'll just pick one. Um, will be not being able to choose my children's path for them. I know how that sounds. But just
Yeah.
not being able to protect them like from the world or from anything because
Yeah.
life's going to happen regardless.
Yeah.
There's going to be things that I'm not going to agree with. Because you got to remember when you were younger and you felt you had a different path for your life than your parents had for you. And that's just like a really hard thing for me. And I can feel how my mom probably felt when we were growing up. It's like they need you less and less.
Yes.
And so it becomes difficult some days. Like, I want to spend time. And they're like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm going to do my own thing. And so I would say just that learning to let go and letting them grow and become the people that they're supposed to be for themselves, of course. And, making sure that they continue to advocate for themselves, always asking questions, always curious, always wondering. And, just not being able to have control over that aspect of life.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that sounds beautiful, and I hope that in that process that you take the time to get to know who Kendra is as you go through that, because they're in the process of learning who they are. And as
Exactly.
they venture out into the world and they start to, become themselves and start their own families and do all those things, you're still solid in who you are. And
Right.
so taking the time to, those times they don't want to spend with you are the times that you can spend loving on yourself
Right.
and showing, and embracing that. Because I see it all the time with moms losing themselves within their families. And then when they leave, they're like, okay, well, who am I?
Well, who am I? What
And
am I supposed to do? Where do I
yeah,
belong?
what food I like to eat, because I've been eating all the food that they like this whole time. So,
Right. Right.
little things like that. And so taking the time to really truly start to love who you are and catering to yourself.
That's so true. Jazz, we literally just had this conversation. We just had the conversation where I was like, man, for the longest, I lived for my children, my husband at the time, didn't have an identity at all. And then I was saying how, your pa made me open up my eyes and really realize, like, just hearing how when all the kids left, you didn't really, you didn't know who you were anymore because your identity was so tied to your kids. And that's the route where I feel like I was heading into as well too. Like, man, my whole life was centered around my girls, where it was at one point when they all went to school and I had all this time to do something to pour into myself. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know what to do. I
Yeah.
sat on the couch, I cried, and it was like I had to relearn who I was all over again. What did I like? I didn't even know if, what I like to do anymore besides go out and eat.
But see, that's
But
so easy to do, though, to just go and
yeah,
treat
exactly.
yourself to lunch or dinner or something.
Well, then
Like,
think
okay.
outside the box. Like people try to. I had someone tell me like, "Oh, your son is with your mom again." He sure is. Yep, I'm taking that trip.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm going over
Yep.
here. I'm about to do this. I'm about to do that. Because at the end of the day, if I'm not good, then my children are not good. My
Right.
mental health is very important to me because it's how I'm able to show up for them and give them 100% of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I need a little break, then I'm gonna take that break. I need I need a little quality time with myself, then I'm gonna take that. And that's important. Like I still struggle with, treating myself. Uh but if I need that
Mhm.
time to kind of gather my thoughts and do what I need to do, I'm gonna do it. And I'm not
Yes.
gonna allow anybody to judge me for it. And so if taking yourself out to eat, if that's what it is that you need to do, then do it. If it's you need to take a little weekend trip and get away to go somewhere, go take that trip, get that flight ticket. Do whatever it is that's going to get you to where you need to be. And that's how you can be honest with yourself, is saying, I need time.
I hate that I actually even came to terms with, hey, you need to carve out some time for yourself. I hate that I came to terms with that even later. Like, I
I
mean,
mean, sooner than
better
later. I mean, not sooner than later. Better now than
better
never,
later than
I should
Better now
say.
than
yeah.
not.
There
Yeah,
we
better
go.
now than never.
Exactly. So now I can embrace it and be like, you know what? Mama needs to go and have, because at first I used to feel bad about doing, even when I would take myself out to eat,
Yeah.
I felt like I had to hide the fact that I was doing that, or I would feel bad. And then I had to tell myself, girl, you pour so much into your girls. You pour so much into making sure that they're not just good physically, but mentally as well. Treat yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
Treat yourself.
Well, I can answer it. So, what has been the hardest truth you've had to speak out loud, either to yourself or to someone else? Um, I would say I thought about this question, and I did say to Yapah, I was like, well, when it comes to other people, I'm pretty honest. If I'm feeling some type of way, if I, want to express myself to any individual, I tend to do it without even thinking sometimes. I just blurt whatever feeling I'm feeling and I say it. But the hardest part, because it's easy for me to pour into others. I've struggled pouring into myself. Um,
Mm.
and so I would say, having those daily conversations with myself, because it's constant of you're enough, you got this, you can do this, not relying on other people to push me to the next level with saying that you're awesome, or all of the highlights. I can provide that for myself. Some people may say, oh, you're being cocky or whatever the case may be, but it's not. I'm being confident. I had to learn how to be confident in myself because I had allowed so many people to tear that down, and I had to rebuild that within myself. And so the truth that I speak to myself every day is exactly that. The truth is that I am that girl,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't expect anybody else to have to tell me that. I know that about myself.
Right.
And that has been the biggest blessing for me in my life, has been loving on myself in such a way that I can now teach my boys how to do that. I don't feel the need to tear other people down to make myself feel good. I'm not looking for salvation from a man or anybody else, though my husband provides that for me. I don't have to get that from him, because like I said, I'm that girl.
Yes, girl.
Well, for myself, the hardest truth that I had to speak out loud for was for me. Growing up as a little girl, I had to look out. I'm the middle child, but I had to look out for my oldest, my sister, and then my youngest was my brother. So that was like a lot of pressure, not realizing it then, but when I think about it now, that was a lot of pressure on someone who was trying to figure out how to even just be. And so the hardest truth that I had to speak out loud to myself is that I did the best that I could to be there for my sister and my brother. I did the best that I could to protect them. I did the best that I could to protect my own children. And so, and not to hold on to guilt behind circumstances that may have happened in the in the past, and to know that I could only do what I could do at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I held on to a lot of hurt and guilt in regards to that, but knowing that I could only do what I could do, and things were going to happen in the way that they happened, and there was nothing that I could do. So yeah, that's like the hardest truth that I had to speak to myself, is to releasing guilt feelings on a lot of things that I had no control over.
And that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Really
That's
good.
absolutely beautiful. And that's tough, because I don't know what it is about the human race, but we just feel like we have all of this control.
Oh,
And the reality is that we have no control. We have none.
you know,
The
Zero.
only thing you
it's
can
funny.
control is how you deal with it
Mm-hmm.
and how you
Very
move
true.
on. And that's it. That's the only control you have. And so sometimes we don't come to that reality until later in life.
Yeah.
But it is our reality. And I think that
Mm-hmm.
that's very beautiful, to say like, hey, I love on these individuals in my life. And though I was at one point their protector, I do understand that I couldn't be there at all times. I couldn't, pull up my imaginary shield and block them from everything at all times.
Mm-hmm.
And I did the best that I could do.
Mm-hmm. Yes, indeedy.
True. And that's, it's it's crazy how it all worked out and how this conversation ended up here, because the one thing that I had to truly speak out loud to myself that was really, really hard for me to grasp was that I can't control it all.
Right.
And that's the most painful, yet it's still allowing myself to grow within that, knowing that, hey, I don't have to control it all.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just about the experience. Like, I'm going through things when it comes to my daughters, they're growing up, they're having their own life. I couldn't control, I mean, in a certain sense, you can control how your life goes. But if you're meant to experience certain things in order to grow you as a person,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it doesn't go the way that we want it to go. But when it finally ends up where it's supposed to be, we're not upset about it. We probably look back on that situation and be like, you know what, I know now why it ended up going this way. And you know what, I'm glad that it did. And so that was one of the hardest things that I had to, and I'm still working through, is that I'm not going to be able to control it all, but I can, you know, I can do the best that I can
Mm-hmm.
and see, how is this going to help me on my,
Mm-hmm.
how can this help me? How can this help someone else on my journey? So yeah.
So true.
Yes, ma'am.
And so looking back, would you still choose to speak your truth in love?
yes, I still would choose to speak it because it's the truth
Mm-hmm.
and it's reality. And I feel like being realistic realistic with yourself is way more effective than sugarcoating it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
you have to speak the truth because
Mm-hmm.
as the saying says, the truth will set you free.
Yes,
That's
indeed.
Look at you with the quotes all this whole time with all the quotes.
I think
Yeah,
I
I
would.
would.
Sorry, go ahead,
Oh
Jazz.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I was like, I think I would have, knowing what I know about myself
Mm-hmm.
and certain avenues that I've taken to learn myself. I think I would have, because it has been times where I felt like I couldn't really speak the truth, and then when I did, it came out in a way where people didn't really take it the way that I meant it. So
Mm-hmm.
when I speak about anything, I'm very passionate. I'm passionate when I talk. So it may come out as aggressive to the wrong crowd. And so now I feel like if would I still speak my truth? Absolutely. But maybe in a way to where it's not as aggressive, because a lot of people don't take aggression very well, even if it
Mm-hmm.
is coming from a passionate point of view.
Right. And I resonate with that so much. Uh I just feel like it's just I don't think it's the tone. I think it's just people were raised in different environments, different households. People aren't a lot of people aren't used to a dominant tone, like a confident tone, I should
Mhm.
say, a confident
Yeah.
tone. Um, and so I think they take it as an aggression instead of just taking it as honesty or just someone trying to give wisdom or someone who's just really really passionate in the moment about something. Um, I think even more so now in the world now is very very sensitive
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
things like that. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say I am unapologetically assertive. I don't even use
right.
aggressive. Okay. I say assertive
Assertive.
because
Thank
I
you.
know
Thank
what
you.
I want, how I want it, when I want it. And ain't nothing wrong
Thank
with
you.
that. And,
Ain't nothing wrong with it.
and we live in a world, in a society where it's always brought, black women are aggressive. And the reality of it is, like you said, Kendra, the way that you were brought up,
Right.
maybe you are, for some women they have to be the dominant person in that space. Whatever the case may be, I see it as being assertive, and I see it as like we're standing firm with how we feel and standing firm with our voices,
Right.
right? So you may see it as me being loud, but I just want to make sure that you can hear me when I say something, okay? Because I need you to feel me. And so me,
Right.
I'm not being aggressive. I'm not being loud. I'm being assertive, and I just want to make sure that I'm heard and that I'm seen. And so I would 100% um continue to say what I say when I say I am enough. I am kind. I am intelligent. These are things that I say to my son every morning when I drop him off to school. I am kind. I'm smart. All of those great things about myself. I will continue to say and not allow the world and people in it who may be feeling insecure themselves to dim my light.
Absolutely. And you know what?
Yes,
That
ma'am.
is because we have been in a position to where we had to be on the opposite side of the spectrum, to where we felt like we know how it feels, or how it felt to not have that, to be assertive basically. So now when you have this confidence to be able to come out and be like, you know what? This feels good to be able to speak my truth and have the confidence to back it up, or to have the confidence to actually speak it out loud. And like it just takes you to a place where people they take it in the wrong way, only because they have not arrived at that point yet. And that's what I feel. Because if you meet other people who are the exact same way, they know exactly where you're coming from, because they've been there too.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, I would definitely. still choose to speak it. For sure, during the times of healing within and knowing that my closer walk with the Most High showed me that, you know, it was okay to release what I had been holding on to.
Mm-hmm.
And just knowing that with each step that I take, each moment, each breath, that I'm walking with my head up high, knowing that I'm his child, knowing that the things that I go through in life is building more character within myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, I want to thank you all again for joining us on today's episode of A Woman's Voice. If this caught your ears, then stay tuned for more coming soon. It's your girl, Yapah Judah, and with much gratitude, I send love your way. La da 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 dum. I'll talk to you soon. Peace and blessings.